Hi there, folks. My name's NovaWrap and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings-on from the week that was. So here we are on the 11th of September 2022 for another action-packed episode, and we're going to jump straight into it this week with the release of the new sim of the hour, X-Plane 12. So the team over at Laminar Research have been hard at work for a couple of years now to preparing us and creating the next generation or the next edition of their of Austin Myers long-running X-Plane series of simulators, and it's culminated this week in the release into early access of X-Plane 12. So I do want to start this off by stressing to everybody that this is early access. So one more time for everybody at home, early access. So this is not a fully featured product yet. It is still very much a work in progress. Though it is very much, a lot of the major features that have been called out that were coming to X-Plane 12 are present in the latest edition. So what does X-Plane 12 give us over the previous edition of X-Plane 11? So it's had a few improvements in the visuals. So it's got a new lighting engine, which is a fully photometric PBR sort of compliant lighting engine in the sim. They've got updated water textures, which is one of the biggest, and maybe not one of the biggest, but one of the things that visually I noticed was one of the things that the previous generations of X-Plane sims lacked. So it has a new 3D water engine with updated rendering and texturing for that one, with some interesting side effects on the shipping, such as the carrier that you operate one of the new aircraft off of. But it also includes new wave height controls and new ways and physics, new physics for how float planes and amphibious aircraft interact with the sim. So in that regard, definitely very much a great improvement. Also includes now, for I'm reasonably sure the first time natively in the sim, is seasonal effects. So X-Plane traditionally just offers, well, X-Plane not traditionally, it continues to offer just geotypical textures, but it's always only ever offered you summer, whereas now it actually offers seasonal effects, including changes of tree colors and leaf coverage throughout the seasons, throughout the year, as well as snow accumulation has been now modeled into the sim natively as well. Also includes new color sets, so loading back to the water as well, includes new color sets for different parts of the water. So whether it be deep ocean, sort of Atlantic coastline, or whether it be tropical sort of shallow water, all of those are new visual effects that have been included and supported into this sim, and they're tagged as being geographically aware watercoloring. Moving back to the trees for a second, includes, as well as the tree color and leaf coverage effects, also includes a number, quite a significant amount of 3D trees in our model, so you don't have to get a separate application or separate add-on for that. That is actually native included there. Again, supporting with a number of different species and sizes for giving a better impression and better forest coverage and vegetation coverage throughout your global travels. The interesting thing that I picked out of the little the sort of, the taglines, the new features, was that these 3D trees are animated and they do actually sway and move in relation to the wind. So for me, that's really, really interesting. I'm curious to know whether or not that's going to be supported globally. I'm going to assume that it is, but that is a fairly unsafe thing to assume. But I'll be very impressed to see if that is the case, that all trees globally will actually be impacted by this, with the actual effect of movement of environmental factors. As a bit of a side note, that I remember when Prepared V4 came out, and that was a big thing. That it was like, oh, we've got animated trees now, but it was only a select tree library on select airports in select areas of said airports. So it was a bit of a misnomer in Prepared, whereas in an old deceased sim called Microsoft Flight, that was native and it covered all the areas. So it'd be great to see if X-Plane does now support that globally. Includes a new ambient sound set for World for your ground experience, give a bit more immersion when you're on the ground. Now, beyond that, you also get new updates to airports. They've got new sort of animated slash environmental effects to be applied to all airport and the pavements and textures and runway markings. They've included updated animated jetways for all default airports. An updated ATC system as well, which has been something that a lot of people have been looking forward to for a number of years, and a lot of people complain fairly endlessly about the natively of all sims, not just X-Plane, but that's the case of Prepared, of FSX, Microsoft Flight Simulator, that the native ATC interaction can be a little bit not necessarily great. So this one now includes localized ATC procedures and voices based on regional procedures and accents from around the world. So that could be interesting to see how they deploy that. Along with that, a couple of updates to the model library that's available to natively within the sim, as well as to developers wanting to make use of content for the sim as well. The other thing that's included that's probably both a combination of both visual improvements as well as simulation improvements includes new volumetric 3D cloud support natively in the sim, an updated real weather injection system and algorithm system for this one, updated versions for the physics of modeling various different weather phenomena, including weight turbulence is fully modeled for the aircraft in the sim, as well as microbursts, which is rather interesting and they're very fascinating meteorological phenomenon that can have some very negative impacts or some very challenging impacts for aviators. Updated physics modeling for their thermals for gliders, as well as updates we alluded to earlier for snow accumulation, as well as also rain and ice accumulation, both on surfaces and on aircraft as well. So quite a few new things coming into the sim, which is kind of cool to see. Other than that, we've also seen a range of new aircraft get added to the sim. So we've got a range of 8 new aircraft have been added to the sim. So as well as an existing library of previous aircraft that are still available. So the new aircraft that are available includes the Airbus A330, the Cessna Citation X, the Cirrus SR22, the Vans RV10, the Piper PA18, the Robinson R22, the Lancair Evolution, and the one that makes my fellow YouTube creator and streamer Belgione very, very happy was the addition of the Grumman F14 Tomcat. Now, that's probably the one that I'm kind of excited about as well, this one. But what I always find fascinating about the F-14 Tomcat. So X-Plane has the native inbuilt ability to do weapons, although it isn't DCS sort of accurate of kind of weapon systems and whatever. It's always had the ability to add weapons to your aircraft and use them in the sim, including sort of modeling of weights and limited sort of guidance modules and radar systems and whatever. What's been fascinating is that the AIM-54 Phoenix missile, which was carried by only one aircraft operationally in history, the F-14 Tomcat, has been in X-Plane since at least version 9, if not version 8. But we've never had a native F-14 Tomcat to make use of said missile. So it's really nice to see that we finally got something to actually carry and launch said missile that's been in the sim for years. So thanks Austin, thanks Laminar for finally delivering that one. So yeah, that is the sim that is available now. So this one is a new purchase. So you're looking at $60 if you wanted to pick this one up, if you're wanting to pick up X-Plane 12. But as I said, please remember, folks, that it is a beta. It is an early access and a beta release. So only get this if you are willing to, if you understand that for a start, and also are willing to give your constructive feedback back to developers so they can help improve and deliver us a full featured release in the hopefully not too distant future. For new users of X-Plane as well, if you've never used a previous generation of X-Plane, if you do purchase X-Plane 12, it will also come with a free license key for X-Plane 11, the current/previous generation of X-Plane, which has a ton of mods available for it as well. There is a lot of existing third-party content for X-Plane, which is either already compatible with X-Plane 12 or has been announced to be compatible with X-Plane 12 in the near future. So keep an eye out for new releases coming out very, very soon. But otherwise, to pick up the new X-Plane sim, pick it up for $60 or your original equivalent, available now from Laminar Research. Continuing on with flight sim releases now and moving into the other major flight sim that's kicking around these days, Microsoft Flight Simulator. The team over at Flying Iron Simulations have brought their latest aircraft to MSFS with the release of the Grumman F6F Hellcat for MSFS. So the Hellcat was quite frankly, it was a very brutish looking aeroplane, and that has to do with the 2,000 horsepower Pratt & Whitney R2800 double wasp radial engine that dragged that aircraft through the skies, and it has an incredible sound set, an incredible roar to go with it. This aircraft was an evolution of the previous F4F-4 Wildcat, and served as a carrier-borne aircraft for the United States Navy and other navies, and indeed other air forces from the Second World War onwards and well into the 1960s and beyond. The aircraft became known as the Ace Maker or the Zero Killer because it was the moment it was introduced, it was incredibly effective in combat during the Second World War, and actually finished the war with over 5,000 kills credited to the airframe. This particular rendition of the aircraft comes to us, as I said, from Flying Iron. It gives us an incredibly detailed 3D model, both internally and externally, with a customized professional W-Wise sound design sound set with it, using professionally captured audio recordings from a real aircraft and with a real aircraft with a real engine, as opposed to a fake engine, of course. Includes a realistic flight model, very extensively tested by a variety of real-world pilots. Includes realistic modeling of all aircraft engine and cockpit systems, and includes custom modeling of various different behaviors of heating, cooling, ground handling, engine damage, etc., that actually work outside the core simulator. So you do get a more engaging and more in-depth experience from this one because of that capability. It does also include full integration with the Flying Irons UI tablet, including ability to save your user customization, basic maintenance set, and basic maintenance of the aircraft as well, which is kind of cool. So it does have sort of that persistency of state of the aircraft, as well as detailed engine modeling, a comprehensive user manual, and the option for those of you who don't want to surrender your 21st century technology just yet, it does have a hidden GPS GNS 530 if you do so desire, hidden behind the gun sight. Now, if you want to pick this one up and add this fine-looking and very brutish but very fine-looking carrier-borne fighter to your simulator, you can pick this one up for $31 or your original equivalent, available now from Flying Iron Simulations. Continuing on with Microsoft Flight Simulator releases now, but moving into the world of scenery. This week, the release of Project Coastline for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this project aims to update. This is the first in a planned series of updates to update the coastlines and give them more life for various places around the world, starting with Italy. So this gives the whole Tuscany region has been updated, including not only adding in sort of marinas, harbours, boats, and various visual traffic. It actually goes to work to actually give a lot of detail of actually cleaning up the coastline. So actually making cliffs actual cliffs instead of sort of this weird sort of DTM data drop off that we see in Sims normally. Includes the addition of a variety of geological elements, including rocks and cliffs, as I sort of mentioned before. But yes, you get quite a few things here with some very different other eye candy included as well. Also includes support of a number of additional POIs throughout the Italian coast. It also includes Malta as well. So they also did the Tuscany region of Italy as well as Malta, and a number of other parts of the Italian coast also covered. So very, very much going to be for your VFR pilots and your frantic palm tree aviators. This is probably going to be an add-on. If you spend a bit of time in that part of the world and want to clean up and to improve your experience, rather than have to rely on either photogrammetry boats or sort of boats sort of etched into the photo reel, this may be an add-on that you might want to consider. So if you want to pick this one up, you can pick this one up for $20 or your original equivalent, available now from flightsim.to. In another sort of aquatic scenery release this week, this one was brought. This one was brought to my attention by the amazing crew over on our community Discord. Saw the release this week of from Mamu Design of the release of Marinas. So this was in some ways kind of similar to in part to the last product that we just talked about. But this one focuses purely on marinas, marinas rather than coastlines. So this leverages off the OpenStreetMap data, sort of OpenStreetMap data, to actually add in and improve the quality, or actually not just add and improve, actually just add in marinas, but not just in one particular area of the world. It provides you global coverage, which is absolutely outstanding. At the moment, the intention long term of the project is to give global coverage. At the moment, it's targeting North America, Central America, the Caribbean, Australia, New Zealand, and Western and Northern Europe. But the rest of the world is planned to be added on in the future. Now, this adds in all marinas, not only on sort of ocean side marinas, and harbors, but also on lakes and other bodies of water. So wherever you are flying in those areas, you are going to find your sim brought to a lot more life is going to be added into your sim when you're flying over these expanses of water. Includes includes all the the marinas, including custom models for boat piers. It also includes boats docked at said boat piers, as well as sailing around the harbours, as well as static boats placed into the nearby marinas and on the water, the water outside of said marinas. So you get a lot of bang for your buck, a lot of bang for no money, for a lot of bang for no bucks with this add-on, which is really kind of impressive. So if you want to pick this one up, you can pick this one up. As I said, it's available free for you to try over at flightsim.to. And another scenery release for Microsoft Flight Simulator this week saw the release from Impulse Simulations of the release of their latest of their Landmarks packs, with the release of Landmarks Townsville for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So Townsville is a city in northeastern Queensland, northeastern Australia, and includes a number of POIs, including the main sporting stadium, includes the pier, the pier, which is the promenade, which is sort of a walking/restaurant area down on the waterfront, along with the marinas, the piers of the main port, and the freight and passenger rail terminals, and all high-rise buildings have been modelled with custom models included. So over 100 hand-placed 3D models have been included. There's got another couple of random interesting things that are included with this one as well, including animated HVAC systems and roof ventilation. Not 100% sure why we need that in a flight sim, but hey, they're there. Custom ships and boats and marinas with navigation markers in the harbour. Custom radar tower for the Bureau of Meteorology's weather radar. A number of 3D communication towers, 3D model communication towers around the city, as well as a animated Australian flag near the hospital, though there is a note on that you do require Sim Update 10 to see that and see it animating. Now, if you want to add this one to your Australian scenery collection, you can pick this one up for $7 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Directs. Rounding out our Microsoft Flight Simulator news this week, the team over at Parallel 42, hot on the heels of the release of their Camp Out add-on, brings through the release of Mexican Mountain, which is a custom-built strip in Green River in Utah, with custom scenery for the the dirt strip as well as the surrounding areas with vegetation, and a number of fun little things to enjoy at the end of a long group flight through the scenic mountain areas. Now, this add-on is available for 10 US dollars or original equivalent, available over at Orbix Direct. Or if you already have, if you're an owner of the Freedom Fox Fox 2 Complete Pack, then you actually get this add-on for free, and it's available just simply by your add-on manager. So if you want to pick this one up, but if you don't own the aircraft, though, I highly recommend that you do pick that aircraft up because it is absolutely fantastic. But if you do just want the scenery, you can pick this one up for 10 US dollars or original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. Moving away from Microsoft Flight Simulator, moving to the world of combat flight simulators now. The team over at 1C Studios released this week the latest in their battle series for IL-2 Sturmovik with the release of Battle of Normandy. So this, as I said, is the latest in their series of battle packs or battle series add-ons for their base sim, and includes the Battle of Normandy both immediately prior and after D-Day, and aims to recreate the challenges and the experiences of air combat over the coast of France during those fateful weeks around D-Day. Now, it includes the maps. It has a new career mode. Obviously, it includes the map coverages. Covers 3 countries, goes through 5. The dynamic campaign goes through 5 different phases, 17 different frontline states, and incorporates over 200 historical squadrons, over 100 of which can be joined by you as the player. The pack also includes 10 new additional aircraft, 8 in the base pack, including the Hawker Typhoon Mark 1B, the North American P-51B Mustang, the Republic P-47D Thunderbolt, the Messerschmitt Bf-109G6, the 410A Hornet. Also includes the Focke-Wulf 190A6, the Mosquito Fighter FB Mark 7, the Junkers Ju-88C6. Now, that's in the base pack, so everybody gets that one. But if you purchase the premium pack, you get an additional 2 aircraft, which is the Spitfire Mark 14 and the Arado 234B Blitz, which was the world's first operational twin-engine jet bomber and a reconnaissance aircraft. So, which is kind of cool, and did see limited service during the D-Day campaign. So if you want to pick this one up, folks, this one is either available directly from the team over at 1C, and you can pick this one up. So you can pick up the base edition for normal price of $60, currently on a launch special of $50, or you can get the premium pack for $80, normal price of $90, available now. If you would prefer to wait for the Steam edition, though, the Steam edition is coming in a few weeks. But yeah, no confirmation for that yet. But they've said it is making its way in a couple of weeks' time. So either way, if you wanted to jump into the skies now, you can, or if you're happy to wait if you prefer to keep your flight sims in Steam, you will be having to wait a couple of weeks. But either way, it is available now from 1C Studios. And moving away from flight simulation and moving to the world in the permanent way to round out the NovaWrap for this week. This week we saw from the team at Dovetail Games, we saw the release of Train Sim World 3. So the team at Dovetail are continuing their standard practice that was obviously cemented with the rail simulator which is they're evergreening the sim every year or two. This time now, this is the 3rd iteration of Train Sim World, and I'm going to start off by saying it is the base updates are a free update for all existing owners of Train Sim World 2. Simply log on and you can get an update for this one, so you're good to go. But if you're a new user though, Train Sim World 3 offers you a improved graphical experience with some updates of the graphics and systems of various trains, but otherwise is available in 6 different editions if you're a new train user. So you can either choose to buy the core sim with just one set of tracks. You can choose either a UK, a US, a German, or a old school UK steam driven locomotive pack. Alternatively, you can get a standard edition pack, which includes a couple of those additional routes, or a deluxe edition, which includes more routes. So your price will vary based on which pack that you get. But what's interesting as well is that we saw a number of day one DLCs come out, which was essentially if you bought the standard edition or if you didn't wanted to, or if you bought, say, the UK edition and you wanted to upgrade and add the other train packs, the other route packs in later on, you absolutely could do that. So that's the day one DLC. But otherwise, all of the Train Sim World 2 DLC will all be compatible with Train Sim World 3 and will automatically migrate over to your account. But as I said, if you're a new user of the Train Sim World franchise, then you can pick this one up. You can pick it up starting from $40 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And with that, folks, that now rounds out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by following me on Facebook and on Twitter and on Twitch. Just search NovaWing24. All right, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.